Hello and welcome to another Common Sense Linux video. This one is for the ones who chose Q4OS to make into their live USB and is about the first time you run that live USB. When you first start the Q4OS Live USB and it gets through all the white on black screen writing, you'll be taken to this and it'll let you know what it's doing. Telling you it's configuring the desktop theme. And one of the first things it wants you to do is, if you want to enlarge what you see on the screen, you just take this slider, and as you see in the little window down there, it will increase the screen size, or what's shown on the screen. We're not going to do that. Starts loading Trinity. And the panel at the bottom, and then after it settles down, this is the first thing that you're going to want to mess with, the welcome screen. Now, there are 6 boxes there. The screen scaling is something we've already looked at. And if you don't want to see this every time you fire up your USB, just uncheck that box. It won't appear again. However, if you want it back, you can always get it through the menu. Now, this is the main reason for this video. The desktop profiler. You have 3 options here. Full featured desktop. They give you web browsers, Office Suite, the LibreOffice Office Suite. You can do the basic, which is pretty much what you already have. Now notice that in the full, installation will take a long time. Installation of the full desktop will eat up about 3 gigabytes of your 4 gigabyte persistence partition. If you want to do that, go ahead. Just realize that you're not going to have much storage space left in your persistence. You can also install another desktop if you want, but I don't recommend it for the live. We'll just cancel this and go back to the welcome screen and have a look at the Software Center. Now, it tells you that the database has not been updated. You can do that later. So just close that. And this screen shows you packages that it can install. Synaptic, which is a good idea. Chromium, which is one web browser. Firefox. And if you're accustomed to Google Chrome, it's available too, along with other packages. Now, if it's got a blue check mark, that means that it's already installed. Then there are 16 packages available here. Now, of the packages that are listed, I recommend that you install Synaptic and Mozilla Firefox. However, if you're used to Google Chrome, Edge is essentially Google Chrome. Install it. Chromium is an open source version of Google Chrome. So let's look at what it does when you highlight and hit install application. Takes you to a little wizard which looks pretty much like what you get in Windows. And you click next and it'll start downloading and installing the package. Now, I recommend that you don't do the full desktop install and just install what you think you're going to need. Now, another thing that you can change without taking up much of your persistent space is if you're unhappy with the default bourbon version of the menu, and of course we've looked at it before, this is what it looks like. It's the default. It's the one that comes up, lists the programs, and you can go down through here and see exactly what is already installed. The Conqueror web browser is essentially useless as a web browser, but it's also used as the file manager. So don't delete it, just install another web browser. So like I say, you can go down through and see the packages that are installed. But if you're not happy with the way that this menu looks, you get the option of changing the way it looks. You have a total of 3 options. The default, one that's known as Kickoff, which looks a little bit different. It has a different way of working. Instead of having the categories on the left-hand side, they're across the bottom. And the third option is the so-called Classic. And it just brings up a listing, and then submenus pop out to the right, and you can look at the various programs that are already installed. To me, that's easier, but you set it to what you think is the best for you. We'll go back to the default. All right, please remember, I do not recommend installing the full desktop. It takes up too much space on the persistence partition. Let me know in the comments if I missed something or could have explained something better. Next up will be a video about the steps you should take when installing a Linux distro. Thanks for watching.